Hello, Abnormal Investigations. It's good to see you guys on a Saturday. Just a little reminder, we have a live guest tonight, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. He's going to be very interesting. Actually, he is investigating where Scott Carpenter used to investigate, and he is using some of his styles that he done his investigatings. And we have video and we have photographs to share with you on the live tonight as we're going to pick his brain. Um, I believe he's going to really do good in the field. He seems to have a lot of the same ideas as we do, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of different opinions as we don't. So that's going to make it a very interesting live tonight. So join us tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. He will be joining us, and I believe Sarah's even going to join us tonight. She's going to be in on this live. I believe it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, he's got some really nice pictures. I was honestly, when I looked at some of them, you can tell that he has found some things. So, you know, we're going to talk to him tonight. And my computer is messing up on me right now. It always does this right whenever I need to do something. But anyways, his name is Harley Owens, and give him a big welcome tonight, guys, showing what the Abnormal Investigation family is all about. Let's get into today's drop. First of all, can I just say how much I love your channel and how much it has helped me to come to terms with what I have saw. It really helps to know that so many other people see these strange creatures and that I am not the only one that is crazy. A little background about myself before I get into my story. My name is Damon Aston. I am a 23-year-old guy, and I am from the West Midlands of England in the UK. Now, I don't live far from a place called Cannock, which is where my encounter took place. It happened whenever I was 19 years of age. I had just completed a new album, and at that age, and with any excuse, me and my friends, Peggy, Rosalind, and my boyfriend James, and his friends Francis and Eamon, took the opportunity to have a little private celebration in the Chase. We went to our local off-license, bought some booze, and off we went for a nighter in the woods, as is the norm for teens. We got to our usual spot around 10 p.m., and all of us got to visiting and having a cold drink. About an hour had passed, and we were getting tipsy, having a good time playing my new tunes from Jane's Bluetooth speaker when Peggy screamed. I was shocked, and I asked, "What the bloody hell is wrong with you?" She said, "I swear I have just seen a bear by that log." Now Peggy has always been a little ditzy, and is often the butt end of our jokes, with some of the things that she comes out with. So everyone just burst into laughter, and Francis said, "You don't get bears in England, do you, Dave?" Everyone laughed. We all laughed it off and got back to drinking. However, I couldn't help but think. I had heard of the Cannock werewolf before. I never believed in it, mind you. Men that turn into wolves? Come on. I wasn't a kid. I just thought it was a folklore like the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot, but without thinking too much of it, I just registered the thought and carried on with the engagement with my friends. Peggy, however, couldn't. She was very jumpy and kept on looking around into the woods like she was trying to spot something or trying to find something. An hour or so later, I was a tidbit merry, and it was also apparent that I needed a wee. So I went a little off into the woods to get some privacy. As I was doing my thing, I heard leaves crackling and a footstep like fashion. I stopped myself. "Hello?" "Babe, is that you?" No reply. So I got back to it, just to hear the sound again, carrying on this time. I called, "Guys, if you're trying to scare me, too bad. I'm too tipsy, and I really don't give a shit." I just finished up when I heard a deep guttural growl emit from the darkness. I looked around, now quite frightened, but I couldn't see a thing. I quickly ran as fast as I could back to the others and into James's arms. "Whoa, babe, what's wrong?" he asked. I told him what had happened, and he just laughed at me. "Ah, baby, Had a bit too much to drink, have you? I scowled. Don't be an arse. I'm serious. It was probably just your imagination after too much to drink. And Peggy's eyes needing testing, he said as him and Francis and Eamon all started laughing. Fine. Don't believe me, I snapped, sitting on my log with obvious annoyance. Rosalind sat next to me. I know he's being a prick, but he's probably right. It's probably just the drink, that's all. I know she was trying to be nice and comfort me, but I know what I heard. I know I did not imagine it. I sat there for the next hour, seeing to myself, slowly sobering up. I was so mad that the only person who seemed to believe me was Peggy, and that my own boyfriend was just laughing at me with his mates. Every now and then one of them would make a snarky comment to me, and they would mick, and eventually, yep, I snapped. My temper got the better of me. Do you know what, James? Piss off. You and your bleeding dickhead little mates can take your sarky comments and shove them up your arse. I got up and I stormed off into the woods, James trying to call me back, but ignoring him until he was out of earshot. I found a little spot a while away, sat down, and started to cry. I was still a little tipsy, heightened emotions and all, you know. But then, through my tears, I heard those footsteps again. I stopped myself and I listened. They were getting closer. I looked around to the general direction I was hearing them, but I couldn't see anything. I slowly got up, trying to not get an alert to whatever it was, the fact that I could hear it in case it was some knife-wielding nutcase. I walked a little and realized that in my anger I hadn't taken note of the direction it came from. Oh, shit, I thought. That bastard better be looking for me. I walked until I found a big tree that my whole body would fit behind, and I slipped in behind it. Now, being very scared, I heard the crunching of the leaves get closer and closer. I stood there shaking, thinking, this is it. I'm about to be murdered by some weirdo creeping around in the woods in the middle of the night, until I heard, a dog sniffing right behind the tree. Sighing a massive breath of relief and thinking, oh, thank heavens for that, it's just a lost pooch, I turned around to see a massive 8 to 9 foot, maybe even 10-foot beast standing on its hind legs right before me. But in that split second, I wasn't scared, like as if some primal instinct held me for a second before logical thought kicked in. It was the most beautiful creature I had truly ever seen. It was a sturdy-looking beast. It was muscular. It had shaggy and matted light brown and gray fur, a fluffy mane around its neck, and like a German shepherd's shaggy tail. Its face, it looked, just like a wolf. In fact, he, I noticed, kind of looked like a Siberian husky, Snowy at home, only his eyes were more of a golden yellowish color than Snowy's chocolate brown eyes. He was just gorgeous, I thought, until rational thinking kicked in, and I suddenly thought, bloody hell, I've got to get out of here. I ran as fast as I could in the opposite direction of the beast. He seemed to give me a head start. Then on all fours he got, and ran like the wind. Taking no time to catch up to me, he pounced, slamming me to the floor. I felt a sharp pain in my elbow, down to my fingers, and I screamed. He turned me over and pinned me down. His weight was immense. I screamed and screamed at the top of my lungs for James, but as I tried, as I might, I could not move. He just had me pinned down, looking at me. He got in my face, and I closed my eyes, thinking this was the end. But I just felt a tickle in my ear as if he sniffed me, just like Snowy did at home. You know, when your dog sniffs in your ears and tickles you with his whiskers. Well, this enormous monster was doing just that. I was in shock. I thought he wanted to eat me, not play. He stood up, still looking at me, like his curious new toy. Just then I heard James Francis Pegas and Damon yell at me, "Are you okay?" "Day, what the bloody—" The beast looked at them, gave me one last glance, and then took off fast as lightning into the night. James ran to me, tears now streaming down his face. "Babe, you're okay. I'm so sorry, baby. Are you hurt? I should have never let you go off like that alone." "I'm fine," I promised. "It didn't hurt me." I realized that in my fall I had hurt my elbow. I later found out that this was a slight dislocation, but I knew that it has the accident. This animal had not tried to hurt me at all. I had a lot of trouble coming to terms with it, all but simply because I wondered if it was going crazy or if I was going crazy. But if that were the case, were James, Francis, and Peggy all crazy too? They had seen it. Then we found this whole community, and have found much comfort in knowing we're not alone. Others have seen these magnificent creatures too, and we now feel validation to our experiences. I just want others to know that not all dogmen, werewolves, lycans, whatever each person may call them, I don't believe they're all vicious. I believe some are not bloodthirsty, and I believe some are there actually to help us. And I believe that some had no choice in what they are, and they're trying to make the best of it to make up for whatever wrong they may have made, or whatever wrong their parents have made, and they're the ones suffering for it. I really enjoyed that encounter. Different than most. We had talked about this encounter before, and of course it was flagged during a lot of things that was going on, and it didn't get the recognition that it should have got. And I had talked to this individual, and they resent the encounter. I believe that it probably wasn't there to hurt you, but it may have had other intentions, if you know what I mean. I believe that is also part of some of the things that these cryptids think about, because remember, the war is with the seed. So I think we have to keep that in mind. Very scary encounter. I think that, you were probably saved by your friends. But, yeah, very, very good encounter. Thank you very much for resharing it. And I want to thank everybody for watching this, smashing the like button. And don't forget, guys, share it out tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. We're having a special guest on. He's got a lot of good stuff, and we got a lot to talk about. We'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Keep your head on a swivel, guys. Don't be something's dinner. We'll see you tonight.